Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
And Jolé Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet, and we'd like to welcome you to today's show, where we are going to get into the power of presence, and John is going to tell us more about it.
Yes, from the author of The Power of Now, and a couple of other books that I spent a lot of time reading going back when I was still in America, when I was living in California back in probably about 2018. I think I started reading Eckhart Tolle's work, A New Earth. And I had it on audiobooks when I was driving around, which I did a lot of. I would play that time over time. And, I've always been a big fan of Eckhart, and we've never actually featured him on the show before. And we owe a vote of thanks once again to Joy Castleman, because Joy has she's and a bunch of other folks on there have also shared various videos with us, which we have then latched onto and said, yeah, this would be excellent for us to break down and show. And this particular one that she shared with me a couple of weeks ago really resonated. So because it's really all about the journey. It's all about the awakening journey and the things to be mindful of, I suppose. But also, again, as it's Eckhart, it's very much about presence, stillness. It's about going deep and allowing through this force which is so much bigger than we are, which cuts out the noise of life and all that kind of stuff. Is brilliant. And coincidentally, when Jolé and I were talking about it this last week, in fact, I just randomly got an email. It said this course was about to begin, which was teaching about how to become a teacher of presence. And I had a look at it, and it really appealed. And you know what I do with these days? If it appeals to me, I have here. Well, here it is. My pendulum. This is kind of how I do my divination. So when I get something, I'm thinking, is this meant for me? Is this something that I'm being guided to? So I always kind of like have my own little divination method, which says, okay, right, I need a holy trinity of responses to this. And the first one, I'll ask the question, I'll be there, and I'll want, a certain pattern for it to appear. And then I want an opposite pattern to appear. And then I want something completely different. Once I've had those three, then that kind of tells me. So anyway, I did this with, excuse me a second, just put that back over there. I did this with this particular course and it came up straight away. Yeah, absolutely. This is here for you to do. So, because I kind of look at it like this. We want to expand out what we're doing with Elevated Planet. We want to be able to reach people and be of service as best we can. Jolé's credentialed up to the eyeballs, having been through a clear sight. I think it was the sort of like the Hogwarts for Los Angeles kind of thing. So she's got again absolute credentials which absolutely stand out, because if anybody's ever had a reading, and bear in mind, of course, that Jolé does personal readings as well. So if for anybody who does it, have that. And I know we got Angel in the audience today over in Houston who went through for a reading and loved that. So anybody who does want that, because that's what started off the partnership between Jolé and I just went into Mystic Journey bookstore back in when was it? Oh, it was February of 2020. And I kind of saw the name on the roster, and it just really appealed. And I had that first like half-hour reading, and that just blew my mind. And I thought, yeah, when I start to create something around this kind of, the up there, around the up there, I thought I want to work with Jolé. So, as I said to you before, it's like, since she didn't take out a restraining order, here we are working together several years later, and building out the dream. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I kind of thought, well, I'll do this. And I've got to say, I did the first 5-hour session last night, 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock in the evening, UK time. And it was really good, really good. I got a lot out of that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that once we go through this first section to to kind of set the scene for what this is about today. Because this awakening journey, by the way, you know, this smoke coming across the house isn't on fire. I've just got started burning some incense, and it seems to want to just come straight across my face and across the front of the camera. But yeah, the Eckhart thing, we're going to dive deep into that, and we are going to see what he has to say about the awakening journey and about presence and stillness and all this kind of stuff. And Jolé, before we do that, can I bring you in to share whatever you want to share?
Yes. Thank you, John. Presence is what Eckhart's going to be talking about. And thank you so much for all of that, John. I feel the same about you. So we've been doing it now, really trying to awaken people because I know what we're trying to do is we know struggle's a part of it. I'm reading this book by a man named Phil Stutz, and it's called True and False Magic. And he talks about pain is inevitable. I know I talk about, I don't want struggle, but it's just what we have. You know, pain is inevitable, and we're never going to be able to stop working on ourselves, right? To awaken or to become what Eckhart Tolle calls you are awakening. And so, for you to get your internal inner man in order so that you can just shine is what we're all about and what we're here today to teach all of us how to do, even me. You know, no matter how many years of this I have, I am still on the same level as you because we all have intuition. I just decided to work on mine a little more. And since time is like collapsing, if you work on your intuition, it's like through the roof. It's not going to take you as many years as it maybe have taken me. I really believe that. 6 months, a year, lock in. You can you can have it all. So we're in this together, and I'm just so grateful to be here. So, John, you can take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and that's it. It's just about empowering everybody. And as you say, as
Yes.
time speeds up, I just think it's it's one of these things now where the frequencies are rising, and it is making it easier for people to make the transition from asleep to awake. And
Yes.
that is what we're trying to do. It's kind of creating that template for people to tap into that will enable people to do it faster, quicker, and get away from any suffering that's out there, which we know is part of life right now. So
Yeah, it's kind of part of the journey, and it's unfortunate. You know, I'm trying to let go of the pain, but in his book, The Tools, he talks about how when pain comes to you, like you think you're depressed and anxious, bring it on, anxiety, bring it on, depression. And then you get into it, and he goes, pain, you know, pain is going to make me stronger. Pain sets me free. So through that process, we become free. But walking through it, it's best we do it together. I mean, because although we need the solitude and we need the silence, sometimes support is so important. So if we wake up and we can support you, hopefully through that, you're awakening or you becoming awakening, you are awakening. You just shine throughout your day, waking others up, because that's what this is all about. John, he talks about, Eckhart Tolle talks about in this a mass psychosis, right?
well,
And
he doesn't
so,
actually mention that. That was what I was studying last night, the mass
ah,
psychosis thing. Yeah.
okay. And the viruses that are in the mind that really cause us to glitch or self-sabotage um, our positive development. Those days are over. We have the tools, we have the wisdom and the knowledge to which to move past. And what do they call that? Virus removal software? I don't know. But we have that now to get those mental viruses out. And hallelujah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the Jolé Gabrielle fan club has been stepping up. We've got Donna saying Jolé is wise and wonderful, and
Thank
we've got
you.
Ronnie, Veronica Seaman.
Ronnie, I miss
Joe
you, Ronnie. Happy belated.
says Jolé is so genuine. Oh, hang on. Here we go.
I love you,
Jolé is
Ronnie.
so genuine. Would recommend setting some time to speak with her. Yeah,
Ah,
I definitely recommend that. started that conversation back in 2020, and here we are 5.5 years later.
Yes. Cheers to the good life.
Absolutely. Right. Okay, everybody. We are heading out and over to join Eckhart to take us through what is a long stint here of about 18 minutes or so.
Yes.
So we'll come out the other side and give us real ground for discussion. So bear with me, everybody. Here we go.
There comes a moment when the curtain falls, when the noise, the plans, the voices, everything you once believed to be you begins to dissolve. And suddenly, you're left not with emptiness, but with an astonishing clarity. You realize you were never asleep. You were simply dreaming of being someone. That's what awakening is. The end of the dream of separateness. But what follows is not always easy. Because when you wake up, you also see how deeply others still sleep. The first wave after awakening is fire. An uncontrollable desire to tell the world what you've seen. You want to shout, "There's nothing to fear. You're already free." But when you try to speak, your words fall like stones into a river, heavy, misunderstood, drowned by noise. Because what you've discovered cannot fit into language. And that's where the paradox begins. You've seen something infinite, and the infinite refuses to be spoken. Every awakened soul learns this sooner or later. That truth is like light through glass, pure, invisible, and only known through reflection. When you try to describe it, you distort it. When you try to teach it, you lose it. Because awakening is not information. It's transformation. It's not what you know, it's what you become. The first thing never to share is your direct experience of awakening. Not because it's sacred or forbidden, but because it cannot be given. What happened to you was not an event. It was a shift in seeing. To explain it is to turn life into a story, being into memory. Those who have not seen will not understand. And those who have seen do not need your explanation. They'll simply nod in silence. Trying to tell someone about awakening is like trying to pour the ocean into a teacup. No matter how gentle your hands are, it will spill, overflow, and leave you both drenched in confusion. Your experience is vast. Theirs is still confined. So do not pour. Be the ocean. Let them find the shore in their own time. Awakening lives between words, in pauses, in stillness, in the breath before speech. When you talk about it too much, you lose its fragrance. But when you remain silent, others feel it through you. They won't know what you've realized. They'll just know that something in you has changed. And it feels like peace. Every time you speak of awakening, remember, your words are only the finger pointing to the moon. The danger is that others become fascinated by your finger, your story, your technique, and never look at the moon itself. So point gently and then withdraw. Let them find the moon in their own sky. The second thing you must never share are your methods, the path that worked for you. Why? Because your method is only medicine for your own disease. What cured you could poison someone else. No practice is universal. Every soul must discover its own rhythm of surrender. The moment you describe how you did it, people stop looking within. They start following you. And that is the birth of another illusion, the illusion of the teacher. They imitate your words, your rituals, your breath, but not your seeing. The real teaching cannot be copied. It can only be caught. Each person's consciousness is a different garden. Some flowers bloom under sunlight, others only in the rain. Your meditation might be sunlight, but for them it burns. Let them find their own weather, their own soil. Wisdom grows in solitude, not imitation. After awakening, your vision sharpens. You begin to see people clearly, their fears, their masks, their false stories, and the temptation to help them becomes irresistible. You want to tell them what they cannot yet see, but truth revealed too soon is like light to a newborn's eyes. It blinds instead of heals. You cannot force a mirror to reflect until the dust settles. You cannot make someone see themselves before they are ready. If you try, they will call you arrogant or cruel or strange. Let their illusion ripen naturally. Every awakening has its own season, and the soil of the soul cannot be rushed. Imagine a butterfly struggling in its cocoon. If you cut it open to help, it will die. Why? Because its wings grow strong only through the struggle. So too with consciousness. When you interfere with another's pain, you may steal their strength. Let their suffering unfold. It's sacred. It's how the soul learns to fly. One day, the ground beneath you dissolves. You realize that everything you believe to be solid, your body, your mind, your story, is flowing, changing, dreamlike. This is the void, not emptiness, but fullness beyond form. And once you've seen it, you can never unsee it. But don't try to share this one. To an unready mind, it sounds like despair. They'll hear nothing matters when you mean everything is one. Tell someone you don't exist, and they will panic. They'll think you mean annihilation. But what you mean is freedom. Freedom from the prison of the self, from the endless story of me. To them it sounds like death. To you it feels like life for the first time. Yourself is not a fixed stone. It's a river. You can never step into the same you twice. The river flows, but nothing is lost. That's what awakening shows. Not the end of self, but the dance of selflessness within every breath. After awakening, you understand that morality is not a rule, it's resonance. When you see all as one, harming another becomes as absurd as punching your own face. You don't follow moral codes out of fear. You follow harmony out of love. You become kind, not because you should, but because you can't be otherwise. Try telling people, I'm beyond good and evil, and they'll think you're dangerous. They won't see that your freedom includes compassion. So the wise act humble. They smile at the world's rules and quietly follow them, not from submission, but from peace. The awakened one hides in ordinariness. They pay their bills, they wait in line, they laugh at jokes, they appear simple, but their simplicity is cosmic, because they know the universe itself hides behind ordinary things. Silence is not emptiness, it's fullness without edges. Every awakened being learns that real truth is transmitted not through words, but through presence. One look from a silent being can undo years of philosophy. Stillness teaches without teaching. It speaks to the heart directly. Those around you begin to change, not because you talk, but because you've become a quiet reminder of what they already are. The greatest teacher might be the person sitting next to you right now, saying nothing. You'll only recognize them later, when something inside you begins to awaken and you realize their silence was the lesson. The awakened path has no direction, no map, no progress bar. You don't walk it, it walks you. The more you let go, the more it moves. And eventually you realize there never was a you to awaken, only awakening itself. Protect your realization from noise, from debate, from pride. It's not a trophy to display. It's a flame to nurture. Expose it to too much wind and it flickers out. Let it burn quietly inside you, warming everyone who comes near, without ever needing to explain. The ego's last disguise is the spiritual teacher. It says, "You are enlightened, teach them." Don't listen. The moment you claim the light, you cast a shadow. True light doesn't announce itself. It simply shines. The more awakened you become, the less you want to speak. The ocean doesn't boast of its depth. The sun doesn't say, "I am shining." It just does. And so should you. You don't awaken the world by arguing about truth. You awaken it by living as truth, by embodying calm in chaos, compassion in cruelty, and laughter in loss. That is the quiet revolution, and it changes everything. Don't share awakening. Be awakening. Don't tell people what you've found. Show them. Through the peace that doesn't need to prove itself. You are the mirror through which the universe sees itself. When others look into your eyes and feel peace, it's not you they're meeting, it's themselves. And in that recognition, awakening multiplies, silently, beautifully, endlessly. In the end, there's nothing to hide and nothing to reveal, only the endless unfolding of what always was. You are not the awakener. You are awakening itself, the infinite, remembering its own name through the shape of a human life.
Again to Joy for raising that one to my attention, because it really resonated on so many levels. Because, you know, we were talking about this idea of awakening and what it was that triggered you. And I remember for my own side of things, when I first had a psychic medium reading back in 2018, prompted by my daughter, who'd had one 3 months earlier and come back with lots of messages for me, which just seemed like nonsense because I didn't believe in this stuff. And then that just like opened me up. I mean, that 1 hour that I spent with Susan Graw just left me with nowhere to hide. That my previous version of reality was wrong, and that just set me on a quest as a left brainer. I needed to understand what the nature of consciousness and the human experience was all about. Because if my mom, who'd passed away in 1981, had been with me every single day of my life since then, I needed to understand how that worked. And then you start to dig under the surface, and you come up with all these wonderful sort of spiritual leaders, including Eckhart. And you start to peel back the layers of the onion that kind of tells you that what we see at face value, we're surrounded by all this noise of life. There is so much more. We are so much more. Again, like Dr. David Clements has said, it's like, we are that projector with the pure white light shining out towards the screen with all these different filters in place that kind of create the images that you see. But we're actually the pure white light. But all these images that have come in because we wanted it, right? This is part of the journey, was to set ourselves the challenges, and the challenges do equal suffering. And that's often how we learn. One of my favorite quotes is always, experience is the quality you gain, usually immediately following the moment you most needed it. And that's kind of true of life, right? We learn as we go along. We keep falling over things, saying, I'm not going to do that again. And quite often we do it again. But nevertheless, this is part of the journey. But when I'd had that reading going back to 2018, I just wanted to tell the world about it because I found it so liberating. That, I just thought, well, everybody needs to have a reading. And you start to sort of like suggest to people, you should do this, because this is really going to help you. Because, I feel like I'm healed. I didn't even know I needed healing. But then over time, you get to realize that what seems obvious to you and what your new version of reality is doesn't resonate with the people around you. And you learn over time, and this is what Eckhart is saying, is that you can't force or shouldn't force your version of reality on other people. Their journey has to unfold for themselves. Everybody is on their unique journey. You can't force open the petals of a flower, right, without destroying it. You can't break into the cocoon of the butterfly to help the butterfly out. He puts it so well. And yet, I think most of us who've been on this journey do find that temptation. And I think this is important, actually. What we do within Elevated Planet is also to also reinforce the fact that we always share our version of the truth, but we also completely understand and honor the fact that other people will see it as deluded nonsense, because that's where they are on their journey. And that is absolutely to be celebrated as much as anything, because everybody's journey is unique. Now, we do want to be of service. We want to be able to lay a trail for others to follow so that their journeys into this area, when the time is right for them, becomes easier and easier. And that's kind of, I think that's honorable. I think that's the kind of thing we're looking to do. But this thing that Eckhart really focuses upon, which is the stillness, it is the presence that, you'd imagine that when you manage to quiet the mind, things become empty. But in fact, in reality, you're opening up something that is so much bigger. And you start to realize over time, once the noise of the background, the distractions, all these different stimuli, which are out there constantly bombarding us, whether it's through TVs, movies, various forms of media, and so much more. And it's not to say they're bad, because they also are part of our journey, and everything has its place. But to be able to do it mindfully is all important, because you can enjoy your favorite TV shows. You can enjoy the things that kind of make you feel good about life, particularly, right? Something that you don't want to focus on things that make you feel depressed and bad. But if you focus on the stuff that really, makes you feel good about life, then absolutely. David Clements was talking last week about the the fact that he looks at the funny dog cat videos and things like that because they're hilarious. We do put them out on the newsletter. In fact, we've got a great selection tomorrow on the newsletter. I was just showing Jolé earlier, got half a dozen of them. And honestly, I was crying laughing, but also some of them really do warm the heart as well. There's a whole variety there, and each one's only probably a minute long or something like that. They're all shorts, so it doesn't take very long to get through that. But yeah, and just to say, anybody who wants to join the distribution letter for the newsletter, send me an email to johndrew@elevatedplanet.life or come through our website elevatedplanet.life/contact 0-08, I think it is, or just go onto the contact page because there's a free format box and you can send us a message through there. So yeah, the newsletter goes out and we do like to share that because, there's a lot of deep stuff, but then to also bring to what life is about, which is about joy. It's about happiness. It's about laughter. It's about love. When you're in that elevated emotion, it's so much easier to absorb all the good stuff that comes our way, all the wisdom that comes our way. When we do it from a light-hearted perspective, and that's why, again, David Clements talks about, the importance of being playful. That's it. That playfulness opens us up to so much more. Now, one of the books I'm reading at the moment is a Neville Goddard compendium of all his works. And it's very interesting because literally a couple of hours ago, I was on an audiobook, I was listening in, and he was talking about, and given the fact that he was on the, lecture circuit in New York in the 1930s, it was quite some time ago, but he was talking about presence and stillness. His wording was a little bit different, but it was unmistakably exactly what Eckhart is kind of talking about here, which is recognizing there is something so much bigger when you're able to still that outer noise and allow in the real you, and I love it because that connection to the higher self, the teams that we have out there that are here to help us on the journey, it's just a beautiful thing. So yeah, it's interesting that Neville Goddard was doing this stuff as well. And again, he was the one who was, I think he's most known for this, as being the first person to come up with living, when you desire thing, again, it's all about manifestation, but living as if a wish fulfilled was the Neville thing. That was his, the phrase that he coined back in the 1930s and 1940s, living as if the wish is already fulfilled, because that way you are creating the vibration that makes you a magnet to that desire that will then be fulfilled. And it's steeping yourself in that emotion. Come back to that. We all create our own reality, but quite often we're encouraged into a different path, which is focus on what could possibly go wrong. Focus on, when you look at the news, it's not full of good stuff. It's full of things that are designed to reduce your frequency and to make you fearful. And that reduces your frequency. You become food for those who are putting it out there. So, but we always have a choice. And this is where presence and stillness takes us. It takes us to that point of choice where we understand the nature of what's happening. And you don't have to, I've been there. I've said to many people, tried to convince them of this stuff in the past and realized it wasn't their time. And, they look at you like you're a bit of a nutter. But, that's fine, because I would have said the same thing going back a few years ago. So, I have to honor that and realize and be, respectful of people's journeys. That's a key thing. So, having said that, Jolé, do you want to sort of step back in and give us a little bit of your thoughts on that?
Yes, because I'm over here, I'm a little bit stuck on like wanting to really move into this energy of complete bliss, right? But there's always going to be these things I guess we need to awaken to, because this earth school is about a journey and about learning and about experience. So to really move through and be present, we've got to be okay with the struggle. and the pain, right? A little bit of it. Because what do? We want to sit in that solution. And that's the awakening that we are. I know we've been programmed oftentimes to sit in the energy of problem solving, right? Or the problem. Why? I'd like to reiterate, let's get into the how and the solution to that. We're a wellspring of ideas. We are filled with so much wisdom, knowledge, and power. But the issue is we've been conditioned that pain is bad. It's bad. I'm really stuck on this like a pit bull now because I want to move through this so that I can get to a place where a knowingness that Eckhart talks about, right? You know at your core that no matter what happens, you're going to learn from it and you're going to move past it. That's power. That's creation, right? Because when you know that you're going to move past something, that means you already have within you the necessary seeds to grow that garden to get to that next step, right? And so it's beautiful, but at the same time, I also am working on grounding and cleaning some of that energy out of the first chakra because I don't feel safe feeling pain now. Physically, I feel pain. I know many of you do. Our backs are of issue. We really need to work out whatever we've got going on with our spine as a collective. I think a lot of people are having lumbar issues or neck, and those are the chakras, right? This is the ganglia, densely populated in these areas that create the electricity of your chakras. So when this first one is giving you problems and you're having problems with your hips, and look around you, people, look at how many people over the age of 40 and 45 are limping or have an issue walking or have hips and knees. This is a first chakra issue. None of us feel safe.
Mhm.
So collectively, let's get into the energy of learning to feel safe, feeling pain, going through struggle, and reaching out for help and really being helpful. Because some of these areas that we are in, like you look towards therapy, right? Which is there, it's a great tool that the creator has invented. Somebody, had that spark, and then therapy was created, hopefully in a good way in the beginning. But oftentimes, well, how do you feel about that? Well, how do you feel about that? What do you think you should do? If I knew, I wouldn't be here, right? So, some of these things we have to look at as tools, but at the end of the day, it's going to be up to us. And
Mm.
one more thing I'd like to say is during this meditation, what Eckhart, it really spoke to me was him talking about the weather, right? He used that as an analogy or metaphor, whichever one that is, to explain. And I thought about that internally. Think about what it is you're struggling with. I mean, therapy and all these, uh, you know, clinical, they like to label things. And sometimes that really contracts us. But let's say that you say, oh, I have OCD, I have anxiety, I'm this, I'm that. That's a weather pattern within you. So think about changing that. So in this meditation, we're going to deal with some of that, the patterns that you have of the weather, moods, emotions. And we're going to learn to change the weather because it's your weather. You're the creator of that. So let's learn how to change that and bring this full circle and sit in the solution in the present moment. So what the pain can then set us free.
Yes. Yeah, no, this is it. And this is the vital point, isn't it? It's that sense of ownership that comes with realizing that we are the creators of our own reality. So the aspects that we don't like, actually,
Mhm.
it's up to us to kind of work out, well, what is it that creates it? How do we get out of those patterns that cause that problem? Yeah, and taking ownership of it. And just before we go to that, one of the things we talked about briefly before we got to see that Eckhart bit was the course that I am taking with Eckhart now. And of all the points that were raised, and there was a lot of talk about the presence and stillness, and it was brilliantly put. Eckhart is a great teacher. But he did mention that point that you'd said, Jolé, about the mass psychosis of the collective consciousness. And he gave us an example the First World War and the Second World War were examples of mass psychosis of the collective consciousness, because people believe that because they were born in a certain country, that country is more important than the rest of the countries. Therefore, you need to defend that. You need to attack people. You need to be prepared to do this. And that mass psychosis is created quite easily through the media. Okay. I mean, we know that if, as we believe to be the case, the mainstream media is all controlled by entities who do not have humanity's best interests at heart, it's their job to be the other side of that. There's the light and the dark. It's their job to keep us small. It's their job to keep us in those denser emotions. So that is how you create that mass psychosis in the collective consciousness, where you get people hating on each other and all the rest of it. It's all part of a program. But at the end of the day, this is what stillness and presence allows you to escape, because you see that going on, but you do not get drawn in. Again, it's like the eagle's perch kind of thing, as Pam Gregory would tell us, where we are able to switch off from that. And it gives you that sense of real inner peace, right? And that joy. This is how you find joy, despite anything going on out there, any of those dramas in the world. And yes, fine, if it's affecting you directly, yes, you do need to take actions. But if it's something on the other side of the world, or it's something that you kind of see as not, something where you have any influence, then don't get drawn into the drama. So
correct. And send positive energy. Like I had a client one time ask me, what can I do about this war? And I'm like, well, you can't really do much. You can send positive energy. And they got really upset with me. But unless you're going to fly over there or send aid, the best you can do is mobilize your positive energy towards peace and reconciliation.
Yeah.
Within you as well as your environment, which reverberates.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's a bit like when Pam put together the 7 o'clock meditations. Again, it comes back to that Neville Goddard thing, act as if a wish fulfilled. So don't get steeped in the suffering of the people over there. Imagine there being peace. Imagine them living in harmony with each other rather than warring with each other. Imagine all those things and just feel that sense of peace, because it's amazing, like it may be 2, 3, 4, 5,000 miles away, but distance is nothing when it comes to quantum mechanics, right? That actually has a value, as Lynn McTaggart has proven.
Yes,
time and again scientifically, that point that you made to that person is absolutely valid. You can't jump on a flight or drop a parachute some aid in there or something, but what you can do is actually visualize, because that is, and again, that's why collective consciousness is so powerful as well around those things, is that when you get, a bunch of people together, all thinking peace, thinking love, thinking harmony, thinking balance, and all those beautiful things, it's so powerful.
Yes, it is. And it absolutely, by powerful, we mean it transforms.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Dispenza and his work is incredible. All the people who have had experienced transformative healing in the moment of reaching that 0 point of meditation. That's another way to help us move through that pain, because it's remarkable. I can't even believe it. I look back and I go, wow. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm a person that meditates, teaches meditation, been doing it a long time. And there's still a part of me that's like, is this really working? Is this really? And guess what? The answer is yes. From where I started to where I am now, total 180, and so I really encourage people, it doesn't take long. It can take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. You could do 2 hours, but all you got to do, ground your energy, pull your aura in, higher self above you, astral body snapped in, run some energy, clean out those chakras, download the gold light, get moving.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that very subject, shall we dive into meditation time now?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So what we're going to do, everybody, is we are going to take that last little section of Eckhart's wisdom, and we're going to use that again, just replay it again, just to reinforce these major points that have been made to lead us into Jolé's meditation. So bear with me a second. We will put that on straight away.
Don't share awakening. Be awakening. Don't tell people what you've found. Show them. Through the peace that doesn't need to prove itself. You are the mirror through which the universe sees itself. When others look into your eyes and feel peace, it's not you they're meeting, it's themselves. And in that recognition, awakening multiplies, silently, beautifully, endlessly. In the end, there's nothing to hide and nothing to reveal, only the endless unfolding of what always was. You are not the awakener, you are awakening itself, the infinite remembering its own name through the shape of a human life.
Put your feet flat on the floor, your palms face up on your thighs. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest, the heart chakra, and begin to breathe with the rhythm of your body. As you open to gratitude, I want you to really feel the gratitude for unconditional love, for forgiveness, for being a part of this earth experience. What a blessing. And to really be awakening. Be grateful for this journey, for your past, all your experiences. Just feel so much gratitude as you ground your energy into Mother Earth from a heart-centered space, and you call your higher self back above you, standing at the power position at a comfortable distance above your crown. Your aura layer is 1.5 feet around you in a perfect circle as you sit in the center of it. And your astral body, with all of its lessons, has come back into your body, feet and feet, knees and knees, hips and hips, hands and hands, head and head, fitting inside of you like a hand fits inside of a glove. And the astral body, let's let it take a minute and let it download into your cells all of the powerful and positive messages on the trip it took while you were sleeping. Absorb all of the positive and drain down your grounding cord, all of the negative. As we wake up, those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles as they blanket the inside and the outside of our grounding cord, cleaning off anything we're ready to let go of and release in order to bring us in the present moment. The present moment is the point of power for all of us. Feel what it feels like to be rooted, grounded into Mother Earth. As you take a deep breath in, and you exhale that energy, I want you to breathe in unconditional love deeply into all of your cells. As you breathe out unconditional love and gratitude, give a little more. I want you to continue to breathe in deeply and breathe out. And visualize the bottoms of your feet opening like the lens of a camera. And you pulling in 15% earth energy of a color that resonates with you. Let it pool in your feet. Feel it. Feel that essence of Mother Earth here to relieve, take away all the stress, to clear up any confusion, to ground you. As that essence begins to move up the side channels of your legs. And as it gets going, the crown goes, time for me to open. Visualize the crown opening like the lens of a camera. And that 85% cosmic gold life force energy comes cascading down from the heavens. Feel it rain down on your higher self. All that you can take in of this divine light, of this cosmic life force energy, and its messages and its quantumness. Your higher self is just basking in. As it then begins to focus itself down, these golden raindrops, right? Each one infiltrating, integrating with your 50 trillion cells as they begin to then mobilize for your highest good, soldiers and warriors of removing dis-ease and illness, negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, balancing those hormones, getting that endocrine system in order, helping that limbic system move out that reptilian energy, having the ego to default to the messages from the higher self as it moves down into the heart, opening that portal between the heart and the mind, creating coherence, moving down into that stomach, meeting with that earth energy, and then beginning to fill us up like water fills up a cup, pumping, 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 moving through us. Our hand chakras open, and this essence begins to sprout out of our feet, hands, and crown chakras, filling up our aura layer. Remember, work it out. There's things coming in and there's things going out. Get clear as to how it's running and sprouting. Be very clear about the powerful being that you are and how your system runs. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to search for, reveal that bad weather. The weather that no longer serves us, no longer belongs, because now, as of this moment, we are awake. We are awakening. We are a light that has no longer to announce itself. We are presence. We embody, we are the embodiment of that 0 point. So from a place of unconditional love and from a heart-centered space, what are you dealing with? Locate that pain, name it. For those of you that's like, I'm not sure, the big three, your physical health, your finances, your love life. Where is the pain? Where is the avoidance? Name it. And now, shine the light on it and tell it, bring it on, baby. Bring on the bad weather. Bring it on. You got this. It is safe for you to deal with your bad weather. What is it? Now see it as a cloud in front of you, outside of your aura layer. You know there's those two roses to the right and to the left of this cloud. So if it wants to act up, you throw it in the rose. You have the rose come in and just take it away. These are your tools of mastery. These roses should be 5 feet outside your aura to the right and to the left of this cloud, because there's something inside of you that matches this cloud. So what this cloud is going to do is all of the matching energy is going to pull us. Bring it on. Bring on the pain. And as you move into this cloud, I want you to say, I love pain. I love this. Even if it's scary, I love it. Why? Because pain sets me free. And I want you to move out of that cloud. It opens and it pushes you out the other side. And those roses take it away. They slurp up that cloud and they move away from you. They're behind you now. These roses are behind you. And they blow up and they turn into positive, creative life force energy for anyone to use. Let that energy settle. As now, we're going to deal with the shadow. Because we need for Mother Earth, this 3D world, to understand that we're about to go quantum, but there's just one little issue. It's us and our shadow. So I want you to see your shadow in front of you, but off to the side. Now remember, there's always those roses to the right and to the left, 5 feet outside your aura. And I want you to ho'oponopono your shadow and tell it, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. You are safe as this 15% earth energy runs through your body, meeting with that 85% cosmic gold life force energy, sprouting out of your feet, hands, and crown chakras, filling up your aura layer. You've taken those lessons from your past. It's time to integrate that part of you that has been silenced, that has been beaten down, that has been traumatized, that is egotistical, lazy, rude, disrespectful. Why? Because its needs aren't being met. This is bad weather, the shadow. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Keep saying this in your mind. As you then realize your shadow is standing right next to you. And as you begin to integrate with your shadow, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. You're going to tell Mother Earth, listen to me. And you're going to let her know what it is that you need and that your life benefits from as that shadow integrates with you. Listen, Mother Earth. Listen, Source. Listen, myself. My purpose benefits from this. Listen to me. integrate that energy, that shadow, into you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And from this space, I want you to open your heart chakra and create an outflow of love, that earth energy and that cosmic divine life force energy, 1585, mixing in, sprouting out of your heart. And you see an outflow of this energy as you continue with the mantra, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And you're going to see yourself. You're going to say this, and you're going to see all of those people lined up in your life that are in your field, your life, because they're all a part of you, projected out. So you're going to say, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And you're going to get into a place of acceptance and move judgment down and out of that grounding cord and into Mother Earth. As that earth energy comes up and that cosmic light comes down, and we begin to create our own weather. As this, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Seeing in our mind's eye the mirror image of what we are projecting through the people around us as we open up our heart and flood them with love. And what do we see as this outflow of energy takes place? We see ourselves become one with this energy, resolving and dissolving the negative, the projection of the negative down that grounding cord, filling up with that cold light and moving out any judgment, creating our own weather, any resentment, any rejection, any regret, any hate is being removed and resolved, turning into unconditional love, positive creative life force energy. As we pour love into the people in our environment, and we watch them pour love back into their environment, as we breathe with the rhythm of our body, knowing it is safe for us to move through this pain, that pain sets us free, and that we create our own weather. We have the tools to move us into unspeakable beauty. Use them. Golden sun above your head, visualize it. And inside of this beautiful golden sun is divine awakening, divine presence, and as always, unconditional love. See this beautiful golden sun above your head and all of its glory, its laughter, its amusement, its genius, its power, all wrapped in unconditional love. And while this earth energy and this cosmic divine life force energy is moving through your body, your heart is open, pouring an outflow of love into your environment. You're vulnerable, open, and willing to grow and learn and share and be of service. As this energy swirls around you, you are the magician. You have a new weather. Where is your sun? Where does it sit? Is it in the heart, the third eye, the gut? It could be anywhere and it moves around. But right now, wherever that sun is, send that earth energy and that cosmic divine life force energy right into it so that this sun beams brightly in whatever frequency you need it to be. Bring it down. You can see your higher self. You already have your own sun inside. So what is above your head? Divine awakening, divine presence. We're going to bring that down. See your higher self lift its arms up as that 85% cosmic gold is just raining down on the sun, on the higher self as it pulls it down. The sun through itself. And as it moves down, it just breaks up and becomes one with that golden cosmic rain, infiltrating the brain, the cranium, and all of the 50 trillion cells. As we know, the heart and the mind are in coherence as this essence just blends in with life force, cosmic gold, Mother Earth energy, your energy, pushing out into the universe, to your aura layer. As you see this energy just dance and integrate with the energies of others, creating a world of unspeakable beauty, as your heart is just pumping out so much love. And you always know that there's those roses 5 feet outside your aura to take in any negativity. You start judging, put the judgment in the roses, give them a push, blow them up. So it's time. Those roses outside your aura layer, give them a push 10 feet away from you, blow them up, turn them into positive, creative life force energy for anyone to use. As you take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel that energy infused into every cell of your body. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, close your feet chakras and see earth energy recede back down into Mother Earth, knowing that that energy is there for you whenever you need it. As you stay rooted and grounded into Mother Earth with the grounding cord that is clean, clear, filled with gold light and in the present moment. Because as that golden sun of divine awakening and presence moved through us, it began to chase those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles down into the core of Mother Earth, and they turned into positive, creative life force energy for anyone to use as our grounding cord is solidified with gold light. So take another deep breath in. Deep, 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 all the way down to the belly. And as you exhale that unconditional love and gratitude, you're going to visualize your hands and your heart closing like the lens of a camera, and all of that beautiful love just settling around you as a garden grows and you see people hugging and dogs and butterflies and just a beautiful scene. And just sit in that bliss for a moment of your creation. You are worthy and deserving of that. As you take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to close that crown, knowing that your DNA has been recalibrated, reprogrammed, and that all these 50 trillion cells have now awakened and are present for you. And as you take another deep breath in of unconditional love, and you exhale that unconditional love and gratitude, you can open your eyes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jolé. Fantastic and right on message with Eckhart.
Yes. Hope. Yes. I'm so grateful to Eckhart. I'm grateful to Phil Stutz. Like, his work is really helping me see that pain, and you're going to have to work on yourself for the rest of your life. So just get cozy with it.
Mm. Yeah,
There's no other
that's the
way,
thing. Well,
because that's what brings you out the other side, because we're here, we're always a work in progress. We always need each other. But the one thing that is always there for us is what? Is source, and what? Through other people, through ourselves, through our learning, our wisdom. So I'm just grateful to be here. Thank you. I don't want to get on my soapbox again.
yeah, I know it is. One of the things I love most about the journey is that you never reach the end, right? We're just constantly layering on
Right.
new experiences, new ways of
Yes.
learning. And in fact, I know some of the stuff we're going to be covering next week, we're going to go more into this journey. We're going to, I've identified some things which I think will be really good to talk around. So, it's going to be more and more, sort of like getting in there deep, understanding the nature of reality and taking control of our journey, but welcoming in whatever is going to come out in future as well. So, okay, so
Yes.
wrap up time.
Yeah, let's keep that sense of excitement and enthusiasm. And yes, it is definitely wrap up time.
Yeah, yeah,
We've been here a while, John.
we have, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for their comments today. It's been a decent, a plethora of great comments coming through, from Angel, from Patricia, from Donna, from we got Sean the Shaman with us as well as Kit,
Hi,
obviously.
Sean and
Yeah.
Kit.
Yay. So, yeah, no, I really appreciate the community stepping in and sharing what works for them, what resonates. And yeah, as always, anybody who wants to join into our community, who wants to get on a distribution list, send me an email to johndrew@elevatedplanet.life, or just go onto our elevatedplanet.life contact page and you can send us a free format message there as well. And what else, Jolé?
As always, we want to just remind you to like, share, and subscribe, because we really could use the bump in subscribers, and we want to get this message out as well. I mean, right now we're just here learning, growing, and really trying to help humanity tap into their quantumness.
Yes. Yeah, it's a delightful journey, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So thank you, Sir Jolé. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, John.
Really appreciate it. And anyway, we will see you in a week's time for the next exciting episode of Elevated Planet.